Welcome, Jim, to Metalatum Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about League of Distortion, this new Fierce album, and other things relating to the metal world. And starting with a common question: how have you been during these crazy times? We started a pandemic 2 years ago, now a war in Europe. So who knows what happened next couple years? Alien invasion, perhaps a meteor will hit us in the next, and America will save us, as usually in the Hollywood movies. Who knows?
Yeah, nice to meet you too at first. That's a good question, but what I learned through that time is you can't plan anything. Just let it go. Just go with the flow, right? So that's what I learned, because you can, don't know if you can tour in 2 months and stuff like that. And it's making you so crazy in your mind. I just want to go to concerts and stuff and do stuff and everything that you just can't plan. So go with the flow and enjoy every day where it's possible. So that's how I went through these times. So every festival this summer felt like a lifetime.
Okay, well, I know that according to your biography that Naples Records sent us, is that this League of Distortion is a new band now, because you create this band in 2017. Now this is your first album, and for that, a great what that one of the biggest accomplishments that the band do is that you release this new album from Naples Records. That's amazing one. So, what can you explain on all the thing about this first album, the composition process, perhaps? The pandemic has to do a lot with composition, the recording, or perhaps you have a lot of troubles because Europe was closed. Well, I don't know, 1 year. Then some countries opened the doors, etc., etc.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where Anna had the time to finally sit down and get this thing going, because it was in her mind for a long time, this band. And then she finally had the time to sit down and making thoughts and creating first kind of music stuff. And then she called me. I remember I was in studio sitting at the window, and she was like, I want to do like female fronted modern metal, with deep guitars and shit, but only with friends. You want to join? And I was like, okay, sounds fair. And so I was in. And our drummer Tino is a good friend of mine, and the only one I didn't know was Felix X, but it's a longtime friend of Anna, and Anna just surrounds herself with good people, so I knew he's all right as well. And so that's how it all started and came together. And for sure, through that whole pandemic thing, you had a lot of time to think about it, and there's lots of heavy things going on. And one song is about being separated and being in a lockdown kind of way. Even before Corona came, that was kind of scary. And so that's where this whole band has for sure their themes and their topics to sing about from it, but also their energy, because what we say is let's form a union and be strong together. And yeah, we invite everybody to join. This is just like not a band, just a band. It's we really want to be a league, and that's why we want to meet in person for sure, and want to be there for each other. And yeah, there's a lot of things in the pipeline we want to do besides the bandish things, just go maybe separate, different ways. We'll see where this is going, but yeah, it's all about being together and form a strong union, and mixed with good music, I hope.
Okay, okay. Well, one curious thing about this first album, and I know that you play with Kissing Dynamite, a band more inclinated to heavy metal, more hard rock stuff. And now with this album, you are female fronted, and now you are more alternative metal in these aspects. So why don't you decide to change completely the subject to do a heavy metal or hard rock band to now with a alternative, a lot of electronic, industrial, etc. More modern metal than
Yeah,
the old way.
after Kiss and Dynamite got always less and less metal, but metal was still for me a thing, or for the others as well, but it was just like not the way where Kiss and Dynamite went, you know. I'm totally fine where we are with Kiss and Dynamite. I love it. I enjoy everything about that. And that's especially why it was important for me when I do a different band, it also need to be a totally different genre. Well, not totally different because it's still metal. We don't do, I don't know, reggae, which would also be really cool. You know, it's just like about new not perspectives, but things you get excited for because you need to learn something for it, you know. Challenges for sure. I was you know, it's a new challenge. And for me, what started with Children of Bottom when I was 15 or something, there was always a more darkish metal side to me. And in the gym, I always listened to stuff like, you know, Thy Art is Murder and stuff like that. So to the real heavy shit. And I was always yeah, fascinated by that guitar playing and that deep metal stuff. So I'm a big fan of Sidecore, for example. Um, and when Anna went into that kind of genre, I was, yeah, fuck, I want to do that. I always wanted to do that. So it was perfect timing.
Mm. Okay,
And that's
okay.
why I don't play lead guitar, actually. So League of Distortion is a band where there's only rhythm guitars mainly. There's no guitar solo in there because for me, guitar solo, I do in Kiss and Dynamite a lot and all these 80s Van Halen shit. But for League of Distortion, it's only the deep tones.
Okay, okay. And one aspect that I don't know is that, bueno, I think when for this first album is released by Napalm Records, one of the biggest labels into the metal world, especially. So how do you see now this accomplished for the band? Perhaps it's had to do with the, well, that the Kissing Dynamite released their new album with them, and now you have the connections to release this new album with them. So how will this process going on? So how this process happened?
Yeah, for sure. We did like every band does with their demo tape knocking on the door via email nowadays. Fair enough. But for sure, as we know, we knew each other before through Kiss and Dynamite and all this that stuff. That was definitely a good feeling because I knew the guys already, and I know it's a great label, but I didn't expect them to sign League of Distortion in the first moment because you know it's that, as you say, it's fucking incredible. And so as we had that go, I was like, my mind was exploding. Like, are you now with two bands signed by Napalm Records, Jim? That was a kind of a rock star moment for me as well. Yeah, so definitely really cool and always nice to work with people who are in the scene as well. You know, you don't need to explain anything there, and that's really nice.
So for this new album was sent to the other labels or just Napalm Records?
I was, you know, we knocked on a couple of doors, but that's just like a typical thing you do.
Okay, okay,
Just
okay.
show to some people.
And now what is your opinion about the now what is your opinion about now this movement around the world that the playlist putting this one of this tag female fronted as one as a new as style of the heavy metal rock etc. What's your opinion about that? Because now you have a female fronted for the band, this is aspect, and I think most of the publicity, most of the merchandise will direct to the female, not the whole band. So what's your opinion about the female got more attention than the, especially for the band, not just the
Yeah, well, partly yes, because I'm cool as well, and people will look at me as well when I'm stage. I will force myself into place so they will watch me. But for sure, I mean, beside Anna, I'm looking like I just can't get close to her in any ways because she's brutal in all kinds of way. I love her so much. She's such a good and close friends all over these years. You know, we know each other almost 10 years, I think now. And she's just awesome. And talking female fronted, I totally love that idea to get female energy into the band, and especially when it's such a energetic female like Anna is. You know, where yeah, you have also a different perspective, and yeah, I really love that.
Mhm. So into this aspect, did you try out with other vocals in the band to prove so how this happened with a man voice, perhaps?
Well, I'm practicing on shouting, so let's see where this is going.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
in first place, I wasn't a good singer, so I'm still practicing that, and then I can go on to growling and stuff. Let's see. But yeah, I didn't need that in between because um, Anna got such a range of from the fine angel-like thing to distortion thing. Um, I'm not seeing any need for a male vocalist there, except for me, for sure, doing some background things.
Okay, okay. So now we are living in a world that this world prefers to hear the music with one single, two singles. Well, we're returning on time when in the 50s or 40s the music are spread by singles now, and no albums, no EPs. But now we are returning to these aspects. So for that, for you, which songs or which song compile or resume all characters for this new album?
Oh, that's tough one. I can't decide. It's too crazy. I would go from Wolf or Lamp and My Revenge. If I can pick two, because these are like the two left and right things, I think. Like Wolf or Lamp is the most poppiest one, and My Revenge is the most brutal one. So I would show them these two songs and say everything in between.
Okay. And
And if I choose musician wise, I would go for My Revenge because it's the most fun to play.
okay, not nice to hear that. So, and if we try to relate this aspect when we're living in single aspects, the playlists, returning to the back, and now you have released your last album a few weeks ago. So, why do you decide to release an album and not just singles? Because try to see what happened in singles if the band will catch it for more people, etc., etc. Why do you decide to do the albums when the people doesn't hear more albums?
I think in the metal scene, it's still a cultural thing in metal. So I think there's lots of people still buying CD and vinyl. All in all, for sure, they're all streaming and listening to one song. And I do the same kind of. I got my vinyls for sure with my favorite records, but most of the day I'm streaming on Spotify. And for sure, it's a trackish thing. I go on my favorite songs and they're just randomly playing. So yeah, that's just another thing the music industry fucked up, but it's 20 years too late for that to change something. So we need to go with where it's all going. But I'm really lucky to be in the metal industry and to say that people are still liking to buy CDs and vinyls and an album and listen to an album. And that's why you really sit down and think about in which order you pick up the songs, because for some people it's still there and interesting, and I give them what they want.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Well, and during these 10 or 15 years, about the last 10, 15 years, we see that the old musical styles from the 80s or to 70s to 2000 are bringing back. It seems that this like a hurricane that brings a few times that they bring, because we saw the traditional heavy metal came back, we saw the death metal, the thrash metal, the black metal, and I think just the progressive metal will still continue with new forms. This is the only style that never going back in time. So, but
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this, I think with these 5 years, or 3 or 4 years, that the bands like you, like Leech of Distortion, Set Your Sails, and a lot of, and I think Disturb bring back a new album a few days ago. So I think the alternative metal are bringing back again. So with a lot of companies, with a lot of bands albums. So how do you see this this comeback of the alternative metal when this style in the 90s are not well received, but now I think are more strong than the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it always repeats itself in kind of way. When there's no new technology, things are starting to
A secret
uh,
time.
and doing music, you know, there's still these instruments. For sure, there's more laptop-ish things going on, and that's why there's dubstep, right? And but when it's come to metal, a guitar and an amplifier, you can change it in such a way that you do a new genre kind of thing. But talking about bringing back the alternative thing, nowadays the production are way better than it used to be back in the days. So it's still an upgrade, I think. And growing up with Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and that kind of stuff, I totally love it. Really cool. So that's also League of Distortion for me kind of fills that teenish dream or that teenish vibe I got when listening to Linkin Park. Because I think some choruses definitely could also be on a Linkin Park album, especially the first records for sure. Like
Okay.
good choruses.
Okay, and talking about this aspect, well, a few months ago, during the with the Metalerian stuff, we talk about if the new metal stuff that this style I think created in 1993 with the first EP from Korn at in 1993. So now we are at least when we are entered to the 30 years of the first production of the new metal. Do you think that the new metal crossed the deadly barrier, and now it's a style that influenced a lot of styles? Because as I remember from the in 98, 98, 2000 to 2005, there's a lot of bands trying to do new metal. But if we compare each other, new Slipknot, Korn, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, etc., none of these bands are related with the sound. It's more different styles with trying to do a more stronger stuff than metal. So what is your opinion? The new metal are cross the deadly barrier of 30 years or not?
I wouldn't say it like that hard, but in a kind of way, I'm totally with you. It's all got wishy-washy and stuff, and talking like true metal stuff, you know, if is this still true? Difficult and different question, and I'm not sure if we should put stuff in boxes like that. Don't know, but I mean, when they're listening to dubstep, this is metal with synthesizers. You know, like if they go like it's just missing a growl, actually. So yeah, things are developing, but I see it with good thing, because I mean, if I wanted to listen to the old good metal stuff, I can put on the records, and most of the bands are still touring, so fair enough. There's no time for panicking that something is losing their this attraction or something like that.
Okay, okay. I said this because as you know, if you can hear bands from Finland in the 90s, all have the same vibe, all have the same influence. So it's death metal from Finland. If you hear bands from Norway, you have black metal from Norway exclusively because they have sound, ideology, etc., etc. Heavy metal, same. Thrash metal, same. But the new metal, if you try to compare Disturbed with Slipknot or Linkin Park, there are no elements. There are no elements. They're the same. But Decibel Magazine, Louder Sound, etc., etc. They try to relate all these bands with the new metal sound. And for
Yeah,
us, and for Metalerian stuff, it's not a sound. It's a different bands with different movements each one, because Slipknot is very different from Korn. Korn is very different from Linkin Park, and a lot of bands are very different. No has they're not they don't have a special vibe that is recognized like, hey, these 15 bands are playing new metal.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Also, I mean, look, which band we are talking. They're so unique, and that's why they're so huge. So they're not like a scene band. They're not like the same scene. Definitely not. So yeah, definitely go with you on that one. It's the same like, you know, Rammstein. There's no band like Rammstein does. So where to put Rammstein in which
No,
metal
well,
box?
Ralston has a lot of themes. If we try to let Fear Factory, a lot of bands from this side from industrial metal has a common things with the riffs, with the schemes. But the new metal, no, the new metal. When I hear for the first time Slipknot in their in the first album, Made Fit Kill, they are more noise and more hardcore than now. So when I
Yeah,
hear for the first time Corners more aggro, like they said many times that we are playing aggro rock. No metal into there. I think Jonathan doesn't like the metal concept, so it's more other side. So well, sorry, opinions or something like that. So I'm talking about the other aspects, and as I said in the first question, one aspect that is more commonly now is that the musicians are playing with the IE or the artificial intelligence now are playing with the drum machines, with the guitar machines, bass machines, and a lot of production with the artificial intelligence. And now with these aspects, as you can see, and I think 5 or 6 months ago, someone or some people in the world create a software that when you put some words they're describing the image that you have in your brains and you put in the box, and this software create art. So
yeah. I tried it myself already.
yeah, this aspect is amazing for that. So what is your opinion about the artificial intelligence is now more present in the arts, in music, in the music, and then obviously in this music, art, painting, etc., and a lot of things. And for that, will you hear in the near future? Because I think next 10 years more, perhaps we will see the first record doing just by machine, no human there.
Yes, I definitely see that. Definitely, yes. There will be probably it will start with a genre, you know, which is especially you know, there's already I always comment with dubstep, but it's always a perfect example. There's a track, the electronic dance machine, and you need to type in a number for your genre and it will create a track. It's on Spotify, the whole thing. And there was a joke for sure, but it's getting reality and definitely get there. But I think until these will really write songs, really, you know, like with voice and feelings and not just randomly bullshit, I'm not afraid. But it will probably will be in the radio because there's a lot of random bullshit going on. You know, in
Mhm.
the pop radio out there. There will be definitely some space for that, but I don't think that music lovers will see through that. That it's
Mhm.
not, that there's no heart and no soul in it.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Well, depends. Who knows what happened? Because perhaps the machines will create a heart. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, fair enough. I mean, there's already a robotic band, Compressor Head. So
It's
let's see where
possible.
they're going.
Okay. Well, we are very close to end this interview, Jim. And for that, what are the future plans that the band has for this first album, Leash of Distortion? Perhaps
Yeah.
more videos coming. Perhaps a European tour, US tour, or perhaps who knows, a new band are doing for first big step, doing a Latin American tour.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'll be awesome. So first plan is actually we're going on tour with Caliban and Ghost Kid Resolve. It's 6 shows actually in December. German dates only, too bad. But at least something is happening, so I'm really happy and really looking forward to play these shows. And we're working on going on tour in 2020, so next year in 23, right? Yeah. Um, we're planning on going on tour, but there's like no plans official yet. But you know, things are complicated as always. but I think it's definitely gonna happen. Like, so we will go on tour and for sure playing some festivals. So like we have Metal Fest Czech Republic already announcing League of Distortion for next year. So let's see where the international festivals will get us this summer. Really looking forward, and for sure playing the whole world.
Hmm.
But
Great, great
it's
to
not in
know.
our, it's mostly not in the musicians' hands to do such a big tour, you know. It's but
Great to know.
we'll keep our eyes open and fingers crossed because you know we want to show everybody this
Yeah.
album.
I think will happen. I think. Who knows? Who knows? So well, Jim, the sad times arrived at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one, like me doing this one. Congratulations for the last for your first and last album. I hope will more coming. I hope. I hope. I hope perhaps we want to add something to your new Latin American fans. And I think no, it's not new because you play with Kissing Dynamite. Kissing Dynamite is well not here in Latin America because not the end of the road as a very great album. I did a review in February, I think, in
Thank you.
February. So it's a great album. I never had the opportunity to talk with someone that even I request to do an interview with Christian Dynamite at that time, but at that time it was not possible. But now it's a great album. I told you, I tell you directly, it's a great album. This new the first album is a great one. Perhaps you want to add something to your old fans from Kiss and Dynamite, new fans from the League of Distortion here in Latin America, and Metallica followers.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, metal people in Latin. Oh, sorry, start over again. Uh, hey, Latin people and metalheads. I hope you're all good. This is Jim of Kiss and Dynamite and League of Distortion. And I can't wait to see you all on concerts. I really hope we're working our ass off to get our ass to Latin America and play their shows. And in the meantime, stream our music and support us. Maybe buy CDs when you're not a streamer. You're definitely welcome. And yeah, all big love goes out to you guys. Thank you for your support.